Is the sell-off completely finished and is the market reversing, or is it still going down and this is just another fake out? Well, that's what we're going to touch base on in this video. Strap in, sit tight. I'm going to show you guys my technical analysis and show you why the stock market is actually reversing right now. And not only that, I'm also going to show you guys what is likely to happen going forward. But just as a reminder, I told you guys, and I also told my Discord students, my boot camp, my mastermind, my elite students, all of them over the past 2 weeks, that they were manipulating and they were going to fry the meta calls for November 21st, which had over $60 million in dark pool data back in October when a lot of people took it. That's when it happened, was the middle of October. And I told everyone they were going to fry these options and that likely meta would run the very next day, meaning yesterday, Monday. And that's exactly what happened. Those calls fried on meta. The stock was $5.90 on Friday. And now just 2 days later, it's pushing $6.40. Literally manipulation. Here's a clip of me talking about just that. Take a listen. That the market very well is likely to run next week. They're going to fry Meta's calls this week. They're going to fry everything this week. That's what they're going to do. This is what happens. The third week of the month, we got data. They're frying these options. They force the market low. The buying now begins. This is a buyer's market now. This is where everything is on sale. And as we go into the holiday season, it's expected the holiday season brings joy. People like to shop, so they're going to be spending money. It's more relaxed. People are less stressed out. Things are just overall better most of the time. So the market will do better, most likely going to the last week in November and the first 3 weeks of December. After Christmas Day, that short duration between Christmas and New Year's when the market is open, there's a lot of selling near the end of that time. The day before New Year's Eve, the day before that, there's usually some selling. And the first week of January and second week of January is really rough because tax loss harvesting can happen up until January 20th, I believe, or 21st. So there's that to think about. First 2 weeks of January is a buying opportunity. Wait for the markets to come down, and then you buy at a discount. But all things considered, the market has already had its share of selling and fear. It's likely that probably won't happen as much as normal. We might actually have a pretty strong January because of this. So that's something else to think about as well. Omni also said that hedge funds and hedge fund managers have been losing for the past 3 years, and they don't care if the market falls. So think about that. They don't care if the market falls. They're selling their positions. Interest rate cuts are being delayed until possibly December, January, February. Who knows at this point? And they're able to bring their money from money markets over into the stock market, which is what they did on Meta. Meta crushed earnings, yet they are destroying the options for November. Yet 50 million in dark pool activity for Meta has jumped in 2026 and 2027. Just perfectly timed to fry this month and next month's options, which had a lot of dark pool activity in them, and then get the interest rate cuts in November, and then the stock starts flying all of next year, and hedge funds make all that money. A lot of it is manipulated. But on top of all of this manipulation, you also have to think about, so if the Supreme Court... So you heard what I said in that video quite a few days ago, but not only that, right there you can see the posts I made in Discord on Friday and Saturday talking about how the options were fried, yet the data was looking promising, and that Meta was likely to run. This proves that I've been saying this before it even happened. Meta literally ran the day after they fried the options. Think about that. $60 million went into call options for November 21st, specifically at the $720 strike on the calls. And yet, as soon as they expire worthless and they beat the stock down into oblivion, the very next day and day after, the stock is flying back up into the mid sixes. This is manipulation at its finest, and there's a lot more than meets the eye in the stock market. So if you want to understand this manipulation that I'm telling you about right now, my Discord students knew about it back in April of this year, and they knew about it this time around, and we're making money and we're positioning ourselves for a nice run and a lot of profits. If you're confused by it and you want to understand it, and if you want to live your best life like my students and I, and buy cars that you love like I can do, I can buy all the cars that I want, do the things I want to do with my family, help my family out. If you want to do these things, it's very easy once you understand the market and consistently make profits. You want to make the profits you're seeing on the screen right now. I have a full training course. You guys will have access to the Ask Corey section, all of my trades, copy my trades. You'll also be able to chat with students in the beginner zone, as well as technical analysis, advanced technical analysis, and my coach coaches trades as well. If you want access to all of this data in the Discord and surround yourself with like-minded people just like yourself, I would love to help you grow your portfolio. Let's take action right now before it's too late. Stock market is getting ready to move upwards. You don't want to miss it. Tom Lee was right. The market's already moving up. The link to get started for Discord is below, and I look forward to speaking with you on the call and helping you grow your portfolio. So you have to understand how the market works. There's a lot of money in the sidelines because of interest rates when they're 5%. And even when interest rates are 4% where they are now, there's still value in having money in SPACs accounts. If you have $10 million, you're making a lot of money every year. It's $400,000 a year on $10 million. So if you are a hedge fund manager or have a lot of money or you're rich, then there's a lot of money to be made in a SPACs account with zero risk because you're just collecting interest on money. But when those interest rates get cut to 3.25%, or even 3% or lower, the money goes down. So you want to make a certain return every year. If you're making less than 4%, you can make more on the SPY or more in the stock market. So that's why there's kind of a breaking point at 4%. Right now, 4% money in the sidelines is still in money markets, but 250 billion or more came in the past 8 months or so, but really most specifically in April and May when the stock market rallied, 250 billion had come in. And the reason for that is because the interest rates got cut from 4.5 to 4, and now they're going to go from 4 to 3.75, eventually 3.5 by spring or summer. All that money's coming over from the interest money bearing accounts or the money market accounts. And so this is going to have a big run in the market. And this is why they've tanked all these stocks. And this is why the interest rate cuts got pushed off till January, February. So the markets would come down. They could buy it all up. And now we have the New York Fed talking about interest rate cuts could happen in December, January at the latest, and really wanting to push these interest rate cuts through because the market's going to fly and they're going to bring more and more of that money over and they're going to capitalize on that run. Also, the same thing I told you guys would happen in the market happened with Meta. But the big part about this was not only did they tank Meta, fried the options, and now Meta's coming up, they sold put option. A lot of put options at 600 because you know you're doing it. You saw Meta going down to 585, 90, back up to 6. So you probably bought put options thinking it was going to go down. A lot of people watching this video probably happened to you. That's what they do. They tank the stock, fry the options, immediately sell puts, and then it runs. You're buying puts because it's tanked and you're thinking it could go lower. They sell you the puts. The stock runs and they're buying those puts back that you're selling them for a loss. They're buying them back for a gain. They're taking a gain on the way up after they took a gain on the way down. They fried you out on the way down, bought it cheap, and they fried you on the way up with the puts. This is hedge fund selling tactic 101, and it's what they're doing right now. It's what the whole market's doing. This is not a dead cat bounce per se. We're looking at a lot of different data. Let's dive into the charts. So looking at Meta, you can see how this sold off. Just like I said, it kind of came down really rough, smoothed out, and just like my line coming up, this is the way stocks typically move, and this has come up. It'll come down a bit, come up, and work its way up like that. I could see something like this happening for data right here in the next day or two, and then up a little bit, and then up like in this fashion right here going into mid-December. I have a price target between 660 and 680 potentially by New Year's. That's going to depend. We could end up in the 650 range, which is a little more likely, but both of these are pretty likely considering how they've worked on these options. They sell it off, sell it off, sell it off, and then they're forcing you out. They're buying it. It runs up. People take profits. It drops. They buy it. And they are buying on all the low spots and all down here. And then they're selling puts right here. And then when it runs, all these puts that you bought, fried. They're all fried. All money lost. And that's what happened. That's what they do. And that's what they're going to continue to do. So if this was a dead cat bounce, what you typically look for in a dead cat bounce, which is what I'm going to show you guys specifically, in a situation like this, you'd see a drop, just like you're seeing here. Stock would come up and then it would drop. So a dead cat bounce would have done this number really quickly and then came right back down. Or it would have came up, consolidated, and then dropped. But the key is the level. Typically in a dead cat bounce, you break one structure, maybe into the second structure, and then it drops. So you'll see consolidation. It'll come up. Here's a structure. It might break it. It might get into the next one, but it'll do it very rapidly, and then it drops. Well, on Meta, we actually broke structure once, twice, thrice, 4 times, and now we're resisting on the 5th time. So this is not necessarily a dead cat bounce, okay? This is almost surely not. It could still be, but highly unlikely. We also, on the 1 hour, crossed the 10 over the 20. They both crossed over the 100, the 50, and the 200. And now the 10 and 20 are over the 200. The 50's crossing over the 100, and now they're both diverging to cross over the 200. When we look at the 4 hour chart, we can see that the 10's over the 20, and they're about ready to cross over the 50. But they're still working their way up to the 200 and the 100. 200 right here, 100 right here. So this divergence is happening right here. On the 4 hour chart tomorrow and Thursday and Friday this week, if we can doji and break out support on the 100-day right here, so as long as we can close the week above 640, not a dead cat bounce. Okay? When we look at the 30-minute chart, which is inside of the 1 hour chart, 230s equals a 1 hour, we can see we're completely in the right side of things. Okay? 200 right here, 200, 100, 50, 20, 10, exactly like it should be. It's already happened on the 30-minute chart, okay? Already happened, and resisting the 10-day. Now we go over to the 1 hour chart. We've got the 10 over the 20, and they're both over the 200. Now the 50's over the 100. All we need now is for the 100 and the 50 to cross over the 200, which is diverging. And I'm going to show you how this is going to work. If it keeps coming up like this, we're going to do the trend, and we're going to do this trend like this, and we're going to do this trend like this. They diverge somewhere between this Wednesday. Let me get this out of the way so you guys can see. There we go. They diverge like this. So somewhere between here, which is Wednesday, and Monday. So somewhere near the end of this week, beginning of next week, we diverge on that 1 hour chart, maybe a little bit sooner. By next week, we're going to now be looking at the 4 hour chart, where if we look at that, you can see here, we'll draw this on the 4 hour chart. And I'll show you guys how this works with all of this data. Okay, so we have the 100-day. It's going to move like this. It's probably going to move up a little more because the stock's moving up. So probably move like this. 10 is going to move up like this. Then we're going to have the 50 is going to move like this. 20 will move like this. Very similar. Okay. And they're going to diverge somewhere between Monday and Thursday of next week. So all of this divergence is happening the first week of December, which is next week. So this is all happening next week. This week and next week, all that divergence, but it's already happened on the 30-minute chart, and it's now transferring over to the 1 hour chart. It's now diverging in the 1 hour chart. So this is happening. When we look at Microsoft is more of the case in point of potential dead cat bounce because the fact that structure broke here, but it's maintained this support. You see, it's maintained the support on the break of structure. So when you look at this, a dead cat bounce, it would have immediately dropped, or it would already be dropping right now, but it hasn't yet. Doesn't mean it's not a dead cat bounce, but it doesn't mean that it is. In fact, it's 70-30 in favor of not. What we need to see on Microsoft is it break 480 and hold between 480 and 485. Once we're up in this range, dead cat bounce is fairly over. But in order to get the clinical definition or proper definition of breaking the structure and eliminating a dead cat bounce, and that's going to be right here. We need to break the 100-day. We've already broken the 50-day on the 1 hour, which is a great indicator. And on the 4 hour chart, we haven't done that. So on the 4 hour chart, we need to close 490. On the 1 hour chart, we are closing right now, looking at around 490 as well. And 482, there's different levels. We broke this on the 1 hour. We need to break 482 on the 1 hour. And then we're pretty much out of dead cat bounce once we're above 482 and holding and pushing towards 490. So between 482 and 490, that eliminates any possibility of dead cat bounce. But there's still that resistance that could happen here at 490. This is free and clear. Once we consolidate above 490, we're free and clear from dead cat bounce. If we stay above 482, we're mostly clear. And right now it's a good promising start. And the higher we go, obviously, the better. But right now we've already done that on Microsoft. So we have to see what happens this week, but the data's been pretty good. We have more data coming out, and we have more stuff happening in the market. There's still a fear and greed issue. The fear and greed index right now is 16. This was 5 only a few days ago. So this is good. Things keep going this way. By tomorrow and the next day, we might actually push 20. And then by next week, we could be 24, 26, where we're out of extreme fear into just fear. And we could go neutral potentially by the end of next week or the week after. If you look at yesterday, it was 13. A week ago, it was 11. 1 month ago, it was 33. We're probably going to be in the mid to high 20s by next week or the week after. So the market is turning around. This is something to really understand in the market, okay? Another thing to look at, NVIDIA. They crushed earnings that the stock is getting beat up on overvaluations on AI. This happens a lot on NVIDIA. We're in my AVP, which is between 170 and 185. 170 to 185 is the new adjusted AVP, and we're right in the middle of that. This stock is very likely by the new year to be pushing into the 185, 190 range quite easily. In fact, I really see us somewhere on NVIDIA in this range up here in the next month or so, maybe 2 months. But this is where the market is headed. And when we look at dead cat bounce, NVIDIA definitely had more of a dead cat bounce than Microsoft or even Meta. It ran up, you see, sold off and sold back down, and now it's consolidating. That is a dead cat bounce for the most part. Although it wasn't really sold off that much, so it's not really classified as a dead cat bounce, but they sort of look like that. Meta looks nothing like that. It's been nonstop upwards momentum for 2 straight days. I wouldn't say it's not a dead cat bounce, but it's definitely not looking like one. It's trekking away from that. And once we break on the 1 hour chart at 641-ish on the 4 hour chart, then we're pretty much getting away from that notion altogether. If the things I'm talking about in this video are confusing you and you don't know where to begin, you're losing money, you want to make money in the market, but you just don't know where to start and you just don't understand any of this, I would love to help you. It's how I've been able to live my best life, buy the cars I want to buy, do the things I want to do, go where I want to go. And my students are doing the exact same thing. My student Josh is traveling. My student Steve is on boats. Flute is traveling the world. Xander is a kid fresh out of high school and in college and has more money than most of his friends because he's investing and making money in the stock market, and I'm teaching him how to do it the right way. If you want to join my Discord and have 2 coaching calls live every week, the Ask Corey section, beginner section, technical analysis, the community section, the off-topic section, as well as my trades that you can copy, my coaches trade sections, my announcements, and the Ask Corey section where you can ask me anything, my gem section, which explains all the tips and tricks of the stock market, and my full 6 hours on-demand training course and one-on-one coaching. I would love to help you grow your portfolio. Remember, what you put off today for tomorrow, someone else put off yesterday for today. Let's take action right now. The market's getting ready to move. Let me show you how to grow your portfolio and take advantage of this big move that's coming. Link to get started in Discord is below. You'll be able to book a call with my team and I so that I can help you. And I look forward to speaking with you in that call. But not only that, if you don't believe me, don't just take my word for it. All the profits you see us making right there, you could be doing the same thing. Let's take a listen to what my student Xander had to say. So today we are here with one of my newest students, Xander. How you doing, Xander?
Good.
Awesome. Glad to hear.
Yeah. So when I was watching other YouTubers, they were really pushing a certain mode of saying oh, you're going to make $1 million, over 500,000 with such a small account, and pushing so many numbers that just seems so unrealistic, where you seem to push a more focused strategy and actually explain stuff more to the point instead of just pushing the Discord. And it just made me pick yours over everyone else's. You didn't try and give unrealistic expectations, right? You actually gave a focused and clear strategy to how we would make money.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear. And that is the goal.
I originally started with $12,000 when I joined your Discord. I never done options before that. And it's kind of crazy what I'm at now. From $12,000 just a month in your Discord, I'm at just over $104,000. So just unbelievable, life-changing money. It's just crazy.
Wow. So you went from 12,000 over 104,000 in 1 month in the Discord.
Yeah, just unbelievable. I couldn't believe it when I was did around 9 trades, and just the amount of success that your trades were and so accurate. It's 9 out of 9 trades, 104,000 from 12. I couldn't thank you more. It's just been awesome.
Awesome. That is amazing success. And in 1 month, that is like a 10x return, which is
yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, over 1,000% I made in 1 month, just from your strategies and just from what you've put out in the Discord.
Based on what it cost you to join and what you've made and the group itself and just overall the education I provide, is it worth it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, people need to understand that your Discord community is insane. I made, in the span of a month, I made 12 new friends that have just been helping me and explaining to me trades that I haven't even thought about taking that were put out from you, and just explain the trades and give me an overall better understanding of how your Discord works. And if anybody's thinking of joining the Discord, 100% please go through those training modules. They're step-by-step, and obviously they'll learn at your pace. So if you can't do it some days, it's okay. But those training modules really gave me a baseline of how to actually do the options, how to take Corey's trades. And once I got to the module, I got through in the week. I just destroyed them all. I love learning. After that, I started to take trades, and it was just profits from there. Unbelievable. And I just couldn't thank Corey more.
So you heard what my student Xander had to say. If you want this to be your success story, let's take action right now. Let me show you what you're doing wrong, and let me show you how to take advantage of the market that's about to move up this winter and spring so that that you don't miss out on the move that could potentially be like it was last April. There's always risks in the market, so you have to diversify your portfolio and manage your risk accordingly. Let me show you and help you with that and show you how to do it the right way so that you can live a better life and progress in the right direction and grow your portfolio. I look forward to seeing you in the next video and the Discord real soon. One love, fam. Link to register in Discord is below. We'll see you soon.